everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Leanna. Today I'm going to be doing a video called My Makeup Struggles, which has nothing to do with the channel Makeup Struggles, although I do love her very much. This is actually a video that I saw my friend the Makeup Moth do. I'm going to leave her video and her channel down below if you'd like to check her out. But I saw her do this video and it was really interesting, and I thought I'd try it for myself because basically it's talking about the different areas during your makeup routine where you feel like you struggle a little bit. And I feel like we all definitely have these areas in our makeup application where we have a little bit of difficulty, and it's an interesting concept to just bring it all out in the open, because maybe you're watching a bigger YouTuber and they edit all of that stuff out and they make it seem like they never struggle in their makeup routine, and it's just not realistic. They definitely are editing all that stuff out, or at least some of them are, maybe not all of them. But and yeah, let's just talk about this. So I'm going to start with the face. I struggle with having perfect texture under my eyes after I apply concealer. And it varies from concealer to concealer. Some leave my eyes looking better than others, but because I have a little bit more dryness there than I do on other parts of my face, my eyes never look as smooth under there as I see so many other people. And of course, that's the other thing too, is a lot of people have filters on, they have smoothing filters and all this different equipment that I don't have. I just have a phone camera, and now I have a ring light too. But I mean, yeah, I'm going to be turning 30 this year. I do have fine lines that get worse throughout the day. I get very tired and they get more pronounced. I don't get a lot of creasing, however, yeah, my under eyes just never look perfect. And adding a lot of powder to them just makes things worse. And especially now that it's winter, I mean, yeah, things just don't look perfect under there. And also, if I have to use a white mixer for my concealer, I don't use a lot of foundation, so I'm just gonna go with concealer here. If I have to use a white mixer, I struggle getting the exact right amount of the white and the actual shade. Sometimes I still end up looking a little too orange. Sometimes I mix in too much white and then I look too ghostly. That's a little bit of a struggle, although I have gotten better at it. And also, in terms of concealer, getting it to stick down onto any acne spots that I have around my face. So typically what I do in that respect is take this really tiny little brush that's very, very fine, and I'll take a little bit of product off the back of my hand and try and just press it on. But then sometimes when I go in with my powder removes the product and I have to start all over again. So definitely have a little bit of trouble with that. When it comes to my eyebrows, I have a lot of trouble getting my eyebrows even. So even today, I feel like this eyebrow looks like it's up a little higher and it almost looks like I'm raising my eyebrows. And I'm not. I don't know, I feel like because of the shape of them, my eyebrows aren't even, you know? Very few of us have perfectly symmetrical eyebrows or faces to begin with. So when I'm drawing in my eyebrows, I might not get them 100% even. Very few days do I ever get them even. And so that's one thing I have a problem with. Also, I have trouble getting the front part of my brow to look natural and not too thickly drawn in, especially if I'm using a pencil. If I'm using an eyeshadow to fill them in, it's not as bad because I have much more control using like a really fine brush. But it's hard if the pencil is like really pigmented and I'm drawing in really thick through the rest of my brow, and then at the front it's like, how do I draw it so that it doesn't look dark? So definitely those two things. Oh, and the last thing to do with brows too is I have trouble making it so that they don't look too red. Now I am at, this is the very last bit of this eyebrow pencil that I'm wearing today, which is the Annabelle Skinny Brow Liner in Universal Dark, and it's very red on me. So for some reason, a lot of supposedly brunette, cool-toned eyebrow pencils go very, very red on me. I don't know if it's something to do with my skin tone or what it is, if I just have really cool-toned brows. But yeah, they just pull almost auburn, I would say. And that's an issue. So that's why I do tend to go for like the shade right next to a pure black, because those actually tend to be the coolest tones. Or I use an eyeshadow, but I don't want to use an eyeshadow all the time. That takes a little bit longer. I like using pencils. So that's just a color issue that I have with my eyebrows. Now moving on to actual eyes and eyeshadow. I have trouble blending out my crease slash transition shade perfectly on each side. It used to be that my left side was problematic and I would have trouble blending that and diffusing that side. Lately it's been the right side. I feel like my left side has been really good. The right side, I feel like when I'm blending through the crease, and I usually do my right side first, it just doesn't come out as smooth as the left side. And I'm almost wondering if it's like now that I know I'm taking photos of the left side for Instagram, if I'm like somehow tricking my mind into knowing that this side has to look better. It's such a bizarre thing. Also, I have trouble in connecting the lower lash line shade to the upper lash line shade perfectly because of my eye shape. I do have deep set eyes. They aren't hooded eyes. Although I feel like if I didn't have deep set eyes, they probably would be, because I do have folds. So because they are deep set, both of these bones are very, very prominent. So my brow bone and my cheekbone. That means that this part of my eye is always going to be in a recess. And this part of my eye is always going to be prominent. And then the lid again, kind of set further back. So if I bring my eyeshadow up to here, which is leaning on the brow bone, it's poking out a bit. This part down here isn't. So how do you connect the two? It's gonna always look like it's almost curving a bit. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if that made any sense at all. I was trying to explain that to a friend of mine, Crystal, on Instagram, because she was having like a similar trouble to me, and it's like, yeah, there's always going to be almost like this little gap right here because they're on two different planes. And likewise doing winged eyeliner, well, number one, it's hard to get them even, both sides even. Number one, because I'm dominant. I have a dominant right hand, and so doing the right side's easier, and then doing the left side's always going to be a little different. But when drawing the winged liner, again, if I move it up high enough, it's going to reach that brow bone, and that is prominent, whereas the lid itself is set back. And if I do that, if I close my eyes, it's going to look nice and straight. As soon as I open them, it's going to look like a little C shape, almost like a hook, because of that curve of it going up into the bone. And so a lot of people with hooded eyes and with deep set eyes, it's very hard to get a nice straight line when you're looking straight forward. When you're looking down, it's going to look perfect, but then when you open your eyes, it's going to look all weird. Putting on my mascara without getting it all over my face. Now, you'd think I would have mastered that by now. I've been wearing mascara for a very long time, but I don't know, I guess maybe I have shaky hands or something, and every time I put mascara on, maybe not every time, but a lot of the time, when I start putting it on, I dot it on my face somewhere, whether it's my eyelid or somewhere around here. Even today, it happened. And it's not a huge deal because you can just wait for it to dry and then kind of scrape it off, whether it's with a spoolie, with your fingernail, something like that. But it's still kind of annoying because for that split second you're like, oh, I wrecked my eyeshadow, I wrecked my concealer. And it is annoying, yeah. Also, when it comes to mascara, like for example, today I'm wearing the Milk Makeup Kush mascara. This is a beautiful mascara. It does a wonderful job of making my eyelashes look really fluffy. But as with most mascaras, I can't wear it without it smudging or flaking underneath my eyes. Usually it's both. I don't know why so many mascaras do that to me, but so many mascaras do that to me. I seem to have a lot of trouble drawing lipstick evenly along my lip line. And I do have a very precise lip shape. Like I have a very sharp Cupid's bow, and because of the way my lower lip kind of juts forward a little bit, I don't know, like you can see if I turn to the side how it kind of pops out a bit. I do have a little bit of trouble getting it crisp and even, and I don't have a lot of lip liners, so I can't match every single lipstick I have. I kind of just have to wing it. And yeah, I can use a lip brush. I'm lazy. So usually I have to just be really, really careful, and sometimes I have to clean it up afterwards. And of course, if I have trouble with bullet lipsticks, then liquid lipsticks are much worse for me. In particular, I find the hardest lipsticks to apply to be the NYX liquid suede lipsticks. Because of how long the applicator is, I find that it's a lot harder to control. The easiest one I've come across has actually been the Stila liquid lipsticks. It's a similar format, but much smaller. And so those are all of the makeup struggles I can think of today. There might be more. There might be more like really, really specific ones within each category that maybe I'm not thinking of at this moment in time. However, those are the ones I can think of today. And so feel free to share some of your own makeup struggles with me, things that you struggle with every time you put on your makeup. Is it something eyebrow related, lipstick related, face related? Let me know down below. I post Mondays and Fridays here on this channel in the afternoons Eastern time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.